But I'd also now like to introduce Paul next. Paul Grew will be sharing with us the future of Agile, trends you cannot ignore, and maybe some that we should. And this session, it breaks down the Agile trends that actually matter. And it goes in by exploring the rise of outcome-driven agility, the shift towards systems thinking, and why product operating models approaches are now overtaking some of the rigid frameworks that we've been utilizing over some time. So Paul's a Scrum trainer with 20 plus years of experience delivering engaging Scrum trainings and practical insights together with significant amount of humor. Author of the Sprint Review Survival Guide, he's helped clients in retail, pharma, and media halve time to market. That's a pretty cool thing to have on your plate, Paul. I welcome you, Paul, to share with us that topic with a round of applause.
Thanks for the intro, Mohammed. Yeah, I've kind of pivoted on I'm going to deliver most of what Mohammed said, but there'll be a few tweaks along the way. I'm going to make this session interactive, so if you could look into chat and you'll see a link to Mural. So please join as a visitor. It should take you straight in, and there'll be some activities and discussions along the way. And whilst you're doing that, I'm going to share the screen because I guess if I just talk to Mural, it won't be in the video and it'll be a bit boring for everybody else. Uh, so, so this is a talk about the future of Agile, and I think the danger of it is with any sort of futuristic crystal balling. I'm sure that 90% of what I'm going to say is going to be wrong, and everybody else in the room is going to have a slightly different opinion. So hence why I'm not just going to deliver a lecture and I'm going to make it mostly interactive. But let's start by thinking about where we're at in our sort of agileness. And I'd just like to start by sort of suggesting that agile has become a meme, and for good or bad. But every day I open up LinkedIn and there's an agile is dead like thing, or someone reciprocating, no, it's not. Then we've got the battle between is safe agile or isn't it, and how many people are still trying to do the Spotify model, and so we've got all these things, and there's lots of good things in Agile, various frameworks. It's like Mohammed said, I've been doing it 20 years. I wasn't the first, and hopefully not going to be the last. But it has been around for quite some time, and so I don't think it is dead, and I think it does have a future. But I just want to talk about a few things that I've been hearing, and so first of all, one of the things I heard was most organisations don't have the ability to successfully change to adopt agile. Now that was a former CEO of an agile consultancy who basically said, "Oh, do you know what? I've had enough of this. I'm fed up of bashing my head against the wall, trying to make organisations change." And in a different organization, again, another CEO, again, this is a CEO of an agile organization, said maybe the reason organizations adopt SAFe is because it appeals to orange organizations. Now, orange, for those that are not familiar, this refers to Laloux's sort of reinventing organizations. He talks about teal organizations as being the sort of ultimate destination, and an orange organization as being sort of fairly command and control driven. And I think there is a sense that the concepts in agile, whichever flavor you pick, are about picking upon some of Emily's sort of things earlier. It's about sort of that sort of empowerment of people. But a lot of organizations are still struggling with that sort of command and control belief. Then you've got Marty Kagan, who is, I think, was he the Silicon Valley product group leader, and he's a really big voice at the moment. And what he's saying, he says, you don't need agile, you just need product development and continuous integration and deployment. So he's basically going, well, all that agile stuff is a bit nonsense. Don't really need it. So we're being very, the product side of people are being quite dismissive. But having said that, when I've been running product workshops in organizations, one of the things, one of the, I was going to take a photo of this of the sticky note and put it on here, but I forgot. But people were saying, well, wouldn't it be good if we could actually do agile rather than being, we're told we're doing agile, but then we've got all this bureaucracy that is sort of, sludge that's getting in the way of actually doing it. And then you've got the founders, the people that actually invented Agile as well. So Ken Schwaber, you will understand my disappointment when I found out that PMI and the Scrum Alliance recently merged. Ken was one of the co-founders of the Agile Alliance. Similarly, I saw Kent Beck ranting the other day about why do I have to still explain TDD after 20 years? So I think there is a sense of frustration from the founders of Agile. They keep saying we're not going to rewrite the Agile manifesto. Certainly, I hear that Ken Schwaber and Jeff Sulland have got no intention of changing the Scrum Guide either. So those are some of the things that we're hearing. And But I think that despite the negative things that we hear about Agile and the frustrations that we have, I think that organizations are still struggling, and the challenges they have that Agile was really intended to help them with haven't gone away. So persistency in challenges in the global marketplace. People use that VUCA expression, and now we've got Tuna and Bainey and all those sorts of others. So the organizations, the complexity that we're operating in is only getting more complex, more fragile. Consumer demand is changing, personalization is required. Everybody has a I want something different, and that organizations have to change really quickly to meet that growing demand. The workforce is changing too, so that's another challenge there. The difference between people my age, what they expect in an organization versus like my children, now they're entering the world of the work, what their expectations are entirely different. I kind of thought, oh, I remember when email was a novel new idea, and we could actually stop passing memos around the office. And I'm sure the modern generation will be like, what's an email? So the nature of work is changing. The massive shift to remote and hybrid, despite the fact that remember Orange Command and Control leaders are forcing everybody back into the office. But fortunately, most organizations are only doing it 3 days a week. And there's technology. We've already had some great AI images from Richard, so just a good indicator that technology is changing rapidly as well. So we've got all these pressures on organizations. I'm sure you can identify things of your own. So what are like leaders looking for? Well, they still want adaptability, customer centricity, good communication and collaboration, accelerated innovation, empowered, engaged teams. Amount of organisations I go to, and they're looking at staff surveys, and I think there's a Gallup survey that said something like, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was pretty low. It was like something like only 30% of people actually engaged in their day-to-day work. So pretty poor thing, sort of current status there. And so these are things that organizations and leaders are still particularly sort of wanting. And I'm not sure anyone's come along with anything better than Agile for delivering these things. So for us to be Agile is dead, well, great, but Waterfall isn't going to deliver any of these things. So I really hope there's no returning back there. So let's have a think about some of the practices that part of the promise of, well, which practices are really good. And so one of the things I've sort of seen on YouTube and sort of getting down with the kids and things like that, is this idea of a tier list, and it just really appealed to me. So I thought, oh, I'm gonna have a play with this, and I'm also going to invite you all to have a play with it too. And so I'm not going to sort of what I don't want to do is just like go, oh, like watch me for 20 minutes whilst I place all these things on the tier list. What I'm going to do is perhaps suggest three or four items that I think are really interesting ideas. And so uh, I think psychological safety is one of those ideas that is really backed with science. Not only the work research that Amy Edmondson's done, but we've got the research that was from Project Aristotle at Google as well. It is, according to Aristotle and Amy Edmondson, it is the number one factor for high performing teams. So, right, I'm going to put that one in S tier. I think like everybody should be working towards psychological safety. Uh, Next one I'm going to pop it into S tier is continuous product discovery. I think that if you want to be an agile organization, you want to respond to changing customer demands and changing marketplace, if you're working on like HIPPO, highest paid person's opinion type product backlogs, right, you're going to build something that's rubbish and wrong. And so that idea of continuously working with customers, refining your ideas, testing them, I think is again like one of the best ideas that organizations can adopt. I think metrics, and I know Richard had a question on metrics earlier. I think metrics are going to be vital for helping teams sort of thrive and perform well. So lots of different ones, but I think the four that seem to be leading the way. We've got flow metrics, so things like cycle time, throughput. We've got the DORA metrics from DevOps, and one called Space, which is a developer experience sort of set of metrics. And finally, EBM, which is the Scrum.org model. I think it doesn't matter which you pick, but understanding, measuring what is happening in your organization and driving your improvement actions towards improving those is going to be sort of how you help your teams succeed. And the other one that I think is really exciting is not Scrum Ban, where we kind of go, oh, do you know what? We can't be asked to do planning and we hate sprint reviews. So what we'll do is we'll just do sticky notes on a board and have a retro. Scrum with Kanban is taking the discipline of Scrum and then adding the discipline of Kanban on top of that. So adding in flow and cycle time on top of Scrum, I think is a really exciting way forward. And that sort of also helps teams get rid of story pointing as well, which I'm yet to find any team that actually enjoys estimating. So I'm sure if you could give your team a chance of not estimating, they might actually thank you. So those are my four top picks out of these. I think all the others I think are pretty good, apart from I'm going to shove OKRs. I'm going to shove them, I don't know, somewhere down here. I think that they have become a surrogate for good leadership, and they create what their original intent was to create alignment and help clarity of priorities. And I think the way they've been implemented has been abysmal. It's just replaced management by objectives, lacks of leadership. My vote for terrible idea of the next decade will be OKRs. But I might not be right. So over to the right hand side, I've got eight tier models, and what we'll do is I'm going to open up some breakout rooms, and the if you can find the table that corresponds to your room number, and it'd be interesting to see what everybody else in the room thinks. So, what are wisdom of the crowds? What is everybody else's S tier ideas? and hopefully there's sufficient people in the room to sort of be able to explain any of the more esoteric ideas if people aren't familiar. So I'm going to open up the breakout rooms. We'll probably go for let's say 8 minutes, and
Paul,
then we'll see some insights when we get back.
Paul,
Paul, just before we go back, I think there's a question somebody's trying to ask.
Yeah, sure.
there is a question in the chat, Paul, from Maru. Do you
Yeah.
want to explain the colors in Laloux's model?
Very briefly, uh, in fact, let me see if I can. Uh, See if I can find an image for you. Uh, so this is Laloux's model, without sort of spending too much time on it, the idea of the teal organization is the organization that is yeah, it's how we might imagine our perfect agile organization, fully self-empowered teams, thinking about uh, higher purposes, things like that. And the one that I referenced was the hierarchy, the orange model here. So this is where command and control leadership is the style where the leader is the person that knows best, and the idea of the leader is to get your staff to follow the plan. So if you think of McGregor's theory X, theory Y, so theory Y, if I get the X and the Y the right way around, is the leader believes in that people do the work because they're intrinsically good and they are intrinsically motivated. Theory X is where we think about our staff as being fundamentally lazy. So that Theory X style fits with the I'm in charge, do as I say, orange organization, and the all our staff are wonderful, let them get on with it is the teal organization. Cool. Any others before I open the rooms?
Yeah, maybe just one question, Paul, just to help the whole group.
Yeah.
Could you just reiterate in 30 seconds exactly what the exercise is for the breakout
Yeah,
rooms?
so I've suggested which of so I've got a set of agile practices here, and I've suggested 3 or 4 of them that I think are really great ideas, and they are worth investing your time and your team's time in exploring and adopting. So there's a whole variety of things there. It's not every idea in Agile, and feel free to add sticky notes of things that I might have missed out. Grab some things. If you think team topologies is the best idea since sliced bread, put that in S tier. If you think it's a rubbish idea, shove it in F tier. And so work with your teams, sort of see where you would, as a group, place those things. And then when we get back, we'll debrief on not just what my opinion is, because it doesn't really matter. What is the wisdom of the whole group? Does that clarify things, Mohammed?
For me, it does, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, let's give it a go. And what's the worst that can happen? Welcome back, everyone. Appreciate not had time or maybe the energy to go through the entire list. But let's have a quick scan through make sure I am screen sharing still. Yeah. Let's have a quick scan through of some of the things that people have mentioned. So room 1 had team topologies, product operating models, developer experience. Over in room 2, psychological safety, and then in A tier, bordering in there, empowered autonomous teams, CI/CD. So room 3 totally disagree with me on OKRs. So told you there'd be people that didn't agree with everything I said. Async collaboration, yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, I think that's the nature of the organisation. The hybrid working it's almost inevitable. Servant leadership maturity models, yeah, cool. I'm I'm curious of how many of us have give us a thumbs up if you think that your organization has embraced servant leadership. Ooh, that's a bit of a tumbleweed. Either that or it's my prompt was went down wrongly. But yeah, so I think it's one of those great ideas. Again, I'm not sure how well it's been adopted. Metrics for room 4 is up there. Room 8, we've got psychological safety, impact mapping, extreme programming beyond budgeting. Yeah, cool. No estimates and XP practices down there. Developer experience. I'm curious, is that a developer that popped that one in there?
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, cool.
I'm a developer and technical
Yeah.
lead also.
Yeah, I think if you're a Scrum Master and your job is to help the team sort of deliver, then some sort of understanding of developer experience and helping developers do a good job, really like important stuff. Continuous product discovery there as well. And quite a few things in S tier here: psychological safety, team topologies, async collaboration, continuous product discovery, Scrum with Kanban, product operating models, all great things. Like I said, I don't have the monopoly on these things. And F tier, so extreme programming practices. Some of these things are like Marmite, and I think this is probably what this exercise also shows. If we draw a line between room 5 and room 6, massive difference in opinion there. I think probably what we can safely say is it is a choose your own adventure. If there's some things on here that you're less familiar with, then you might want to put it on your to-do list to find a YouTube video and find out a little bit more about them and whether they are going to be suitable for you and your teams going forward. Can I just do a quick time check, Mohammed? How much longer have we got?
You're okay. You've got another 20 minutes.
Oh, cool. Cool. So I've got another little exercise for us to do. There was a famous scientist called Fermi, and he had a strategy for trying to solve complex problems, which is basically break them down into more simple questions. What I thought we'd do is pose the question, what does Agile look like in 2030? So if you just ask that question, then it's quite a broad question. So using the Fermi technique, what I've done is I've broke that down into 6 different topics. Being my presentation, I've chosen the topics. So we've got team structures and roles, frameworks and operating models, tooling and automation, metrics and measurement, culture and learning, and governance and strategy. So that's how I've broken it down. And then for each of them, what I've done is posed a question or 3 questions. So for example, under team structures and roles, what percentage of Agile teams will have a full-time Agile coach or Scrum Master by 2030? If you think that is really likely, Scrum teams in 5 years' time will still have a full-time Scrum Master or Agile coach. Pop a thing there, and if you don't, hold your horses. We're going to do this again in your breakout rooms. See, there's some real eager beavers there. Pop those back. Similarly, will hybrid delivery teams roles outnumber framework defined roles such as Scrum Master? Will there be more people called delivery leads than Scrum Masters? So you get the idea. There's 3 questions per box. So what we'll do is we'll pop out back in the breakout rooms. Hopefully the questions are fairly intuitive. Grab a pin and sort of put your pins where you think your answer to that question would be. And again, once we've had the breakouts, we'll look at some trends together and then hopefully draw some conclusions about what does it mean for Agile in the future. So I'll pop that one back up there. So feel free to for your breakout room to start anywhere on the wheel. So if I bring everyone to it, so feel free to start anywhere you like. And yeah, we'll go for a similar amount of time, 8 minutes, and we'll see how far we get. All right, so welcome back. Hope you had a little bit of fun doing that. And again, as per the previous exercise, quite a variety of different opinions. I noticed poor old servant leadership down here is it's not getting much of a look in our futures, which I think is perhaps inevitable but sad. It was quite interesting over here. It's quite a few of you still believe that Scrum is going to be the dominant agile framework here by 2030, which I think is quite interesting. So I'm sure the folks at Scrum.org and Scrum Inc. and Scrum Alliance will be happy to hear that. You can sort of have a quick look through, see where everyone else has voted. So Mohammed says I've got until 5 to sort of draw some conclusions. So that's what I'm going to do now, and then maybe have a little bit of a Q&A. So this was what my crystal balling, where when I went through that exercise, this is where my money would be going forward. So I think that frameworks will get lighter. I think that the days of people wanting a rigid framework like SAFe will reduce. I don't think it's going to go away. I think that if you look at teams that are adopting Scrum, they are a lot more flexible in how they adopt it. So I think people will sort of cherry pick ideas from lots of different frameworks. And I think that's kind of perhaps was one of the original good things about SAFe, was it was a compendium of good ideas. It's only when you try and implement everything that it becomes a little bit of a behemoth. I think that flow-based work is on the rise, and I think it will continue to do so. And I think the creation of the Kanban guide is just an example of that. So again, if you've not checked out the Kanban guide, the folks that have created that are really cool. So definitely sort of give that a shout. AI is not going away, and I think we're going to be stuck with people drawing themselves as AI cartoon characters or action men or whatever it is for the foreseeable future. But I think also, I can see that before we know it, there'll be tools in Jira, if not already, that's writing your backlog for you. There'll be bits of code that are being written by AI. So AI will be your co-pilot. I think the other thing is AI writes bad code. So you're still going to need developers to debug it. And people have always been able to write bad code. And that's why MySpace, one of the reasons why MySpace still isn't here, because it was written in poor technology, poorly. Then you've got agile coaches. I think if you're an agile coach in the room, I don't think you're doomed, but I think you might not call yourself an agile coach in the future, but your skills are still very much needed by organizations. If you're the sort of person that can help teams form a great team or become more performant, make work more enjoyable, whatever your specialism is, organizations will still need that. In the same way that the ideas behind Lean and Six Sigma, all those things, they've sort of passed away, but those skills that those people had are still really vital for organizations. And yeah, finally, I think that the idea of a framework is going to fade away a little bit. I think these things do have a long tail, and I'm quite sure that the prediction around Scrum still being the predominant framework in the future. It will still be the case, but I think there'll be a much more of a shift to this is just the way we do stuff, and it'll be just a cherry pick of ideas. For those that are in the agile industry, and I assume that's why most of us are here, I think TED Talks will have always have a little call to arms, don't they? And this will be mine. So, accumulate sort of rare and valuable skills. Make sure that what we're doing is valuable to the organisation, and that's what keeps us in a job, not necessarily what the job title is. Have an impact on the organisation and be able to measure it as well, and focus on what we can offer, because we can offer quite a lot. That's the end of me.